I didn't say, but I mean, although we can
It's gonna be super quick. It's got a little super quick lesson show. Got into a conversation with an old
Once again, you're a Christian.
sparring partner, beat up partner
Christians were
that I did with. He's a Jewisher. One of those
missionary, and they were forcing their religion on other people. That's what
I gotta admit now.
So according now, we can't make up on all. Say we can only go by what history say, right? So I would like for you to give me some history. I know you got to go, so if you can't do it. Hold on, let me say. You got to come back and do it later. I can jump on with you then. But according to script and record, through that time, the Christians were being persecuted because they would not receive God.
I didn't know
converting people. So when the story of Nero comes in, Christians weren't trying to convert. They were blaming the Christians. So not only that, you got African martyrs who weren't being killed because they were trying to convert people. Felicity and Perpetua were killed because they would not believe the Son of God. Those are two African women. The 12 African martyrs in 180 AD were killed not because they were trying to convert, because they would not convert. The letters and edicts that were being told to Christians before you get to the Roman Empire receiving Christianity, the letters were being said if the Christians don't deny their Christ, to arrest them or kill them.
Okay, but you have a duty of converting people when you're Christian, you're missionary, and that's what they was doing. They were going into the pagan people, the Roman pagans, and they were trying to force their Jesus, just like they did all their life until today. Man. Until today, you do it.
One, I just gave you about four. I gave you you talked about Rome. You talked about the fall of the temple in 70 AD, right? That scattered the Jews out, right?
Jews to Spain.
Yes.
That scattered the Jews away, right? Because when the Jews were attacked, when the temple was destroyed, the Jews went everywhere, even including Alexandria and all these other places. You agree with that?
Clean.
You agree that as far as the record says, that the great fire that happened in Rome, and Christians also persecuted for that? You agree with that?
No, I don't believe in your Christian historical thing.
First, that's not even in the Bible.
I don't see Christians as victims. I'm sorry, bro.
No, so you're running, because all we talk about right now is
I'm not running, man. I see you as Romans. Jesus is a Roman name. It was born in Rome, and Rome was falling down, and you became Christian to repent, to stay alive, and now you become Muslim to stay alive. The same thing.
Yeah. So the reason I don't want to get in that type of conversation with you, because that is just you speaking hyperbole. The reason I'm going to directly, because you said you don't believe in the New Testament. So cool. I didn't even brought up as one scripture. So there's no need for you to go there. What I'm talking about is history. You talk about it because it ain't the New Testament. You don't read the New Testament, so there's no way that but since I would expect that if you're going to say that Romans created Christianity, I'm expecting you're not getting that from the New Testament. Now I recognize that Christians would try to convert people to Christ. I'm not talking about trying to convert people to Christ. I'm talking about the time frame where you're saying Romans created Christianity, and then will you acknowledge that throughout the first few centuries where Christianity was a small sect and growing, they were being persecuted? So I give you Josephus' writings, I give you Tacitus' writings that talk about the Christians. I give you Pliny in 112, the governor required to be but according to history, it says so in 112, Pliny, the governor, required Christians to be condemned or to reject Christ. So that if I'm converting someone to Christ, that's not me killing them. That's me. Look at the law, the exile. But somebody tells me I don't serve
Gala. How about that? It's still pronounced Gala, but it's Gala.
Since using Christianity as a Roman design, then please explain to me why Christianity does not become the state religion until many centuries after Christians were totally being persecuted. Because I expect for you to be a Jew, right? And then acknowledge that Jews gave this scripts, and you are a Jew. I expect you to have some sense of knowledge to tell me about your Jewish brothers and sisters that were persecuted. I would expect for you to tell me how this is all a lie and Christianity, the Romans just made it up, or believing in what they made up.
Okay. I'm gonna give you something. Yes, Christians, what you guys love, the early Christians, yeah, they were going through persecution. To be precise, Christianity is the religion of Paul. You know Paul, obviously.
Our tradition.
Okay, that's why as long as you admit that and you offer the Roman thing and you finally admit to the persecuting Christian, then you good with me, brother. I know you don't believe in the New Testament, so there ain't no need for us to get into a back and forth.
Hey, we have to debate that because to me, all of this thing that's going on now is because of Christianity.
Let me ask you a quick question real quick. I want to get back to what the pastor was talking about. You said that the New Testament was wrote in Greek and Roman, right?
Yes, Greek or Latin.
And you said that at that time they had stopped claiming that they were Jews, which I'm guessing that's why they wrote it in Greek and Roman.
No, that's not true.
Let him answer it. Let him answer it. Me and you know what the answer is.
So this is super quick, like
okay.
telling you.
The reason why it was written in Greek or Latin was because it was for people to be able to read it, and so it was mainly for the Greeks and the Romans to read.
For the Greeks and the Romans. So what was the purpose of them not claiming to be Jews, write a Jewish book in Greek and Roman?
Because they needed. And to this day, they need the Torah because if they don't have that, it all scrambles, it all falls down. And so they forced rabbis to write down the Old Testament, what you call the Torah, and then they added the New Testament on top of it. But it's to me, it's the religion of Paul. Okay, Christianity is Paul's religion.
Greek and Romans didn't have rabbis at the time, so the people that they were forcing into writing these New Testament scriptures, in which they changed their thing to where they wasn't Jews anymore, but they converted into Greek and Roman. What was the purpose of them trying to get Greek and Romans into the Jewish narrative when they themselves wasn't even claiming the narrative anymore? Because then you get to the question of when did people start claiming they were Jews?
Can't read, channel.
I'm not sure I understand that. I have
Christ and the resurrection fact.
If the whole idea is to get Greek and Romans to convert into, I guess, Hebrew doctrine, right?
Oh, shit.
But they were conforming it and making a New Testament.
Oh yeah, so my sound was destroyed because I had that video playing. All right, so starting from the beginning, I was having a conversation with a old sparring partner, a fake Jew that wishes he was a Jew and are not, but he's the synagogue of Satan, correct? And so the only way you can learn the proper information about that history is from an Israelite. So ask an Israelite and you'll get the proper information about that. Okay, so we were talking and he taught me something that I highly appreciate. He said the woman in our tradition secures the covenant. Okay, so the examples that he gave was with Sarah, Abraham's wife Sarah, who secured Jacob's covenant, with their covenant that was going to be fulfilled by way of Jacob. You understand how he accepted the covenant instead of Esau. And then Esau was still blessed with the fatness of the earth. So then another example that it gave was Moses' wife, Sarah. She conducted the circumcision of their children, which had to be in maybe the teens and 20s, you know what I mean? Because Moses was 80-ish when he was ordered to. He was maybe 90-ish. I would say around 90-ish when he was ordered to enter into the covenant by way of I just said it, the foreskin, cutting the foreskin, circumcision. Okay, so you got circumcision. So he had to enter into the Abrahamic covenant by way of the circumcision of his children and himself. So his wife conducted those circumcisions, and so of the children. Okay, so I believe after that happened, I think the order of events was that Moses did circumcise himself, or maybe she circumcised him. I don't know how that exactly. Can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But the then I immediately thought of all of the other women who maintained the covenant, like Ruth, the Moabitess, and Mary, who maintained the covenant and secured the covenant by her chastity. And so just so many women, you understand? So that's an important understanding, is that the women secure the covenant. I wanted to share that with you. And the man secures the estate. You see, that's the name, that's the security of the properties, both the living properties, like the space or area that you're living in. If you have 46 acres, 50 acres, 1,000 acres, you need the man to secure that space. You need men to do the hunting and farming and things of this nature. And the woman secures the covenant. So let that be it, noted and understood. Moving forward, I think that's an important lesson. And so the man that I was speaking to, we beat him up all the time. He calls himself Moshe, but he's a Sephardic Jew, right? Who wishes he was a Jew and is not, but he's the synagogue of Satan. So he said that Safar. He says Safar means Spain. I said, he's stupid. That don't mean Spain. Okay, so you can clearly see here it means separated. Okay, which means exiled. A place where Israelites were exiled, site unknown, Sepharad, right? So now we already comprehend how the Sepharad or the Sephardic Jews identify themselves. They have been identifying themselves for a very long time. And so they know their history, that they were kicked out of Spain. And actually, Jews are fake Jewisters. have been kicked out of over 100 countries. So as they began to be kicked out of everywhere, they just maintained their dominance by owning banks and placing them in the locations and siphoning the monies from the locations and just funneling it to themselves. And then, of course, carrying out every nefarious activity you can imagine. And that's how they maintain their dominance. So I thought this was an important lesson to understand what a Sephardic Jew is, which is an actual Israelite who was exiled for disobeying the law of the Most High. Okay. And so they were spread into other nations. They moved into into Spain. Well, yeah, of course, France first, because if you look at the map, France is definitely before Spain. You have to go through these areas to get to Spain. So that's in fact what happened. But as you can see, Portugal is right next to Spain, as seen on this map. So in order to understand Portugal, the port of Gaul, right? The port of Gaul is right here, Gala. And so that's why people have galas in order to the galas are, generally speaking, they're orgies. So the word itself means to uncover your nakedness. That's only one of the definitions. So Satan perverts the definition as a orgy. Go in there, go and party and uncover your nakedness. But in our tradition, in real Israelite thinking, to uncover your nakedness means to uncover your shame or uncover poor behavior, and expose. It means to expose poor behavior. That's how we understand uncover your nakedness. You see, and so there's other ways to understand uncover nakedness, like you can uncover the nakedness of your father, which means to sleep with his wife, which is also illegal. So all of this is important. It's important for just a little tidbit. It's geeky stuff is not, but all truth is extremely important to me. You understand? So anything that I might learn, I got more than you ever learned. So anything new that I learned, that's amazing to me. I learned something new. Wow. That's why I share so often on my Facebook, because I see new things, and then I share the information. But yeah, I think that's valid and important. Spain. Okay, so just to recap, Sephardic does not mean Spain. Sephardic means separated, and they were exiled to Spain, and then they were exiled again from Spain by a queen and moved into North Africa. And so they've been there ever since in North Africa. You understand? So we know that. So I'm pretty certain that they have forgotten their tribe that they were from. You see what I'm saying? But we can track it down very clearly. You see what I'm saying? Because any exiled Israelites, we can just find out who they are very clearly by just going to the references. You know what I'm saying? And then we can see which way they went. from the classical arena of Israel. You see what I'm saying? So they say they went west or they went east or they went north or south, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell you exactly where they were exiled to. But if even if it doesn't, the Sepharad kept in mind that they were separated, so they called themselves Sephardic. I'm pretty sure today they don't know which tribe they are, but based on the biblical uh, heritage, we can easily track them down and find out which tribe they are. All right, shalom.